thanks for all the work you do day in and day out to make Iowa a better place for all of us. My name is Peterman. I'm a proud Iowan from the Quad Cities, and I'm running to be our next Secretary of State to protect the right to vote for everyone here and across the state. So we've covered a lot of ground in the past year, and I've been so encouraged by everyone that I've talked to. There's a lot of excitement in the state, and we have a real opportunity to make some real good change for all of us here in Iowa in 2026. That's exactly what we're going to do. I know I've met a lot of you before, but in case I haven't, I spent most of my career in the Navy. I was a Navy pilot, worked on defense policy in the U.S. Senate for a while, and then helped train the next generation of Navy and Marine Corps officers back in the Naval Academy. And when I think about it, I'm in this race for so many of the same reasons I joined the Navy. I love Iowa, I love our country, I care deeply about democracy, I care deeply about public service. I think these are things that are worth fighting for. But sadly, when I look around at the people that we've been sending to elected office in Des Moines and in DC right now, they made it all too clear that they're not there for the right reasons. They're not there to serve the public. They're not there to solve problems. They're not there to make life better for all of us here in Iowa. And that's wrong. It's wrong and it needs to change. The good news is we know how to make that change, right? We hold folks accountable and we do that at the ballot box. But sadly, when you take a look at my opponent, Paul Payton, his track record, especially in recent years, he's done nothing to facilitate our access to the ballot box. He's done nothing to give us a voice. Time and time again, he's made it harder and harder for folks across Iowa to vote. And again, that is wrong, and that also needs to change. We need folks that know that their number one job is to serve folks here in Iowa, to solve problems, to make life better, and we're just not getting that. So we need the opportunity to vote no matter what our circumstances are, right? And again, it's been getting harder. We shorten the time period we have to vote. We see attacks week in and week out on the right to vote by mail, which is something I take very personally as someone that had to vote by mail when I was in the Navy. But we know it's not just Iowans serving their country in uniform that rely on the right to vote by mail. A lot of times it's just folks in rural areas, sometimes elderly folks like my dad who's in a wheelchair, sometimes it's students studying away in college, and sometimes it's just Iowans that have to work 2 or 3 jobs to put food on the table. They can't afford to take an hour or 2 off of work to get down, vote in person, and make their voice heard. And by the way, when we go to vote, we give our personal information over to the Secretary of State. It's their responsibility to safeguard that information, to protect it, not to hand it over to a partisan Department of Justice. I promise you, as Secretary of State, I take that obligation very seriously. I will protect, I will safeguard your information, and above all, I know that my number one job will be to protect the right to vote for everyone here across the state, and that is exactly what I will do as our next Secretary of State. We've got a lot of great candidates running up and down the ballot, from county offices to the state house, to the Senate and the governor's mansion. We've got a great opportunity here in 2026, but I know that we can win. We can't do that without your help and the help of folks like you across the state. So I just want to ask for your help today. Please, when we get back home, let's keep talking to our friends, keep talking to our family, to our neighbors. Spread the word that there are so many great candidates that are willing to fight to make a difference, that are willing to fight to make life better for all of us here in Iowa. So thank you all again so much for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you out on the campaign trail over the next 5 months. Enjoy the rest of the convention. Thank you all so very much.